Hello and welcome to Monday, November 25th. Man, this month is going by fast. This is in the United States Thanksgiving week. Glad to have you here. This is breakfast with I'm sorry, coffee with Coach Allan. It's been a pretty busy morning myself. So I'm a little out of sorts, and my wife actually put quite a bit of caffeine into the coffee this morning, pretty strong. So I'm bouncing a little bit. But welcome to Coffee with Coach Allan. Today's topic is about schedule. Too often, I talk to individuals about how much time they have to work out, how much time they have to food prep. We talk about time, and time seems to be a big problem for a lot of people. However, what I've found is it's actually not a problem of time, it's a problem of priority. We all think we're busier than we are. And I can pretty much prove it if I ask you to see your calendar right now. Because most people will not schedule their time outside of work unless they're helping other people do things. So if you have a kid's schedule, then yes, you definitely have a schedule outside of work. But most people just have an open calendar. It's a wide open calendar that they haven't scheduled anything for. They haven't scheduled their sleep. They haven't scheduled their workouts. They haven't scheduled really anything. And then they wonder where their time went. And so, two things I want to kind of challenge you with this week. This is Thanksgiving week in the United States. So many of us will have at least a portion of the week off, which will give you some time to be sitting at home, not necessarily doing stuff. So this is a great opportunity. I use this time of year, this end of year time is a time where I really spend a lot of time getting organized for the upcoming year. I undo things, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, later in this week. But I undo things, and then I redo things, and I reschedule, and I reevaluate. And so this is a good time for you to do that. And the first place I would start is with your calendar. If your workouts are not on your calendar, you probably won't get them done unless you've already created them as a habit. If they're already a habit, maybe you don't need to do this. But if you're struggling with the habit of getting yourself more fit, getting your workouts done, you need to put on your schedule. That needs to be step number one. So, step number one, if you're not getting things done, is to always look at your schedule and make time for it on the schedule. I have my workouts scheduled each morning. I also have workouts scheduled on the weekend. I have workouts scheduled in the evening, or at least time for me to get those done. So those are on my calendar. I don't book anything else on that calendar time, and that's significant. It means that I've made the space, and that's the first step. So I would say go through your calendar when you get a chance. This week's probably a good time to get started, but over the course of the next week or two, sit down and really look at your calendar and ask you if you're getting all of the value out of your time that you should be. Because if you're not getting the value out of your time, what are you doing with it? This should be the most important thing that you do outside of work and family. And if you're not taking care of yourself, you've got to make the time to do that. And you know that. So the first step is to sit down with your calendar and come up with the time. Okay. The second step is to look through your calendar and look for how you're going to structure this. Too often we leave it wide open. We don't really have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, then you're planning to fail. So if you've got certain things that you want to accomplish, you've got to kind of lay those out. What do you need to do to accomplish those things? Again, too often we spend time writing out, okay, I'm going to work out this time, I'm going to do it. And I'll have clients tell me, it's like, I'm going to work out 4 times a week. I'm like, okay, when? They're like, well, I'll try to do it in the No, we don't try. We have to do. And so a lot of times if you're just trying to fit stuff in and it's not on the calendar, you're not going to get it done. And number two, if you don't have a general idea of what you're going to do, then you're probably also not going to get it done. You're not going to optimize your results. And so if you really want to stick with this, you really want to get great things done, particularly in the next year, we need to have a plan, and it needs to be on the calendar with adequate time to get it done. That's the only way you're going to know that you're moving in the right direction, is to have adequate time to do the things that are necessary. And you have to know what's necessary to two things: know what to do and know what's adequate. So if you're struggling with this, I understand it's tough. We're all very, very busy. But if you'd like a little bit of help with that, just reach out, let me know. But today's lesson, again, is about time management, because we all have the same amount of time. And so, what I'll tell you right now is, if it's not on your calendar, it's not a priority, period. If it's not on your calendar, it's not a priority. And nothing you can tell me is going to convince me otherwise. If it becomes a priority to you, it will be on your calendar. So that's your mission for this week. Figure out what you need to get done to get where you need to be and get it on your calendar. I'll talk to you tomorrow.